Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Good evening and welcome to Spaced Out Radio tonight. My name is Dave Scott. Good to have you all here. See, I got a new mic flash cover. I do. I'm happy about it. It's green, just like our colors. So I'm pretty happy. Dick Landon is here. We're going to talk astral travel. We're going to talk catastrophic disclosure and so much more coming up on the show. Dirty Filth is here as well with another crazy cartoon. And the best part about tonight, we have each and every one of you, including... Well, let's take a look here on the including. Where are we here? Kitty Caddywhack in the gold medal position. Commonwealth Andrew with the silver. And Tim Mothman in his goatee sharing a bronze medal tonight. Frankie B, race fan in fifth. How you guys doing? Paramarv, how are you? And thank you for posting my quick hit on WPHT. Appreciate that, Paramarv. Mama Catherine, I love you, my dear. I hope you have an incredible night listening into this one. Let me know how you like it, because I think it's going to be a good one. Scrolling on down, up next we have Trucker Andrew. How you doing, bud? Good to see you. Bar Madison, thanks for coming on in. And Robert Lamoth, good to see you. As we continue on with our roll call, Jaquetta, nice to have you here. And Necessary Dialogue, nice to see you. Lots of conversation going on here. I love when I see that. Scrolling on down. Oh, my goodness. You guys are writing a book here. Millennium, my man, is here. Millennium will be signing autographs after the show. Line up to the left of the studio, if you don't mind. To the left of the studio. Mel WD-40 is here, lubing us up for tonight's show, because you always want to go into a show nice and smooth, especially when you're astral traveling. You don't need any rigidness to steer you off your path. So thank you, Mel, for the extra lube tonight. Monica, how are you, my dear? Thomas Rock, Fast Hemi, nice to see you guys. As we continue on with our roll call, there's Gory Tiger. Walter Kochabinski, nice to see you. ST, thanks for coming on in. As we continue on with our roll call, and John Lamb is here. John Lamb will be signing autographs after the show as well. Line up to the right of the studio, if you don't mind. To the right of the studio. Pushing buttons. Welcome to SOR Chat. Gary Rusin, nice to see you. Al Garay over on Twitch. 2,500 push-ups in 4 minutes to warm up for tonight. He's ready. He's jacked. Candy, how are you tonight? Fast Hemi, good to see you. Doug Shelby is here. The Doug Shelby has arrived, which means we can officially start this show. Jay Truthseeker, Richard Minish, nice to have you both here. Road Flare, good to have you back as we continue on with our roll call. I'm Hardcore on X, nice to see you. Butterfly Bear, nice to have you on X as well. And who's next here? Scrolling on down. More scrolling. In the studio, nice to see you. Hi, Smokes a lot. Mr. Cowley, how are you tonight? Excuse me. We are caught up. So far, we are caught up. Okay, let's go to the radio side here. Hello and welcome to the radio and podcast side of Spaced Out Radio tonight. My name is Dave Scott, and we are going to have Dick Landon on the show. He's got a brand new book out called Two Black Op, Fears of Catastrophic Disclosure. We're going to learn about that. We're going to learn about astral travel and so much more as we are in our YouTube roll call right now. And we thank everybody who has come on in. We want to remind everybody, you can now be a member of our YouTube channel. All you got to do is hit the membership. We're right there. The super chat is open. It's a wonderful way to support what we do on this show on a nightly basis, and we greatly appreciate your love and support. Do not forget to shop at our Spaced Out Radio store. Why? We do not have ugly swag, people. No ugly swag, so make sure you check it on out. It's well worth it. We just got some new stuff up there recently as well. I think you will like it. It is going to be a great show tonight. We are warming up for Dick Landon, and we are 10 seconds away. So if you're comfy, you're cozy, you got your drink ready, do me a favor. Throw those horns up. Let's rock.
Are you ready to hear your mystic voice of the night?
It's time to wake up.
He's here. Shush. Quiet. He's ready for you to listen. Let's point our ears towards the little cabin in the woods. We're together, my friends. Only the night. It's time for Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott.
From the mountains of central British Columbia to you listening around the world, this, my friends, is Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. We welcome you to tonight's show on our terrestrial affiliates around North America, digitally on every major podcast network. Our website, spacedoutradio.com, we have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read the news wire, check out our swag as well. You can follow us on X at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on Patreon in the Space Travelers Club. Tonight's show is brought to you by Chive Charities. Help make the world 10% happier by visiting Chive Charities today. You can find them on our website. We are going to have an amazing show for you tonight as author, researcher Dick Landon is here to talk all about astral projection, astral travel, and of course, we'll get into some disclosure as well. Should it be catastrophic? I don't know. Then in hour number 3, Swamp Dweller is going to join us for another spooky story. After that, little Timmy James will be at his home studio for the UFO report. So let's get right to it, shall we? Dick Landon is an award-winning science fiction writer and consciousness explorer who bridges the worlds of technology and metaphysics. Born and raised in upstate New York, Dick earned his bachelor's in mechanical engineering from the University of California, Santa Barbara, before building a diverse career spanning the aircraft and software patent industries. His creative talents have garnered significant recognition with 7 prestigious writing awards for his science fiction screenplays. These works delve into fascinating realms, including paranormal phenomena, out-of-body experiences, UFOs, neurotechnology, government conspiracies, and altered states of consciousness. Currently, Dick is channeling his imagination and expertise into a science fiction novel that continues to explore these compelling themes, and he's got a brand new book out, Two Black Op, Fears of Catastrophic Disclosure. We're going to get into that and more tonight. Let's bring him on in. Dick Landon, welcome to Spaced Out Radio for the first time, my friend. How you doing?
Thank you very much. It's great to be here, and there's no ugly swag here.
Oh, good. Good.
I also did my 2,500 push-ups.
Excellent. So you're jacked up for tonight's show as well.
Definitely.
That is absolutely amazing. Dick, going from a scientific background where a lot of scientists that I know, I mean, they've always liked Doctor Who. They've always liked, Star Trek, Star Wars. The interest in space has always been there. Is that how you kind of got into all of this is because as a child you really enjoyed what science fiction offered?
Oh yeah. I mean, that was my favorite and only theme book. I just read science fiction as probably from junior high school. And I I wish I could remember all the books I read now and all the titles and all the authors, but it was inspirational for me. It always was. Just like my friends, we were kind of geeks in that way. And as far as um, other things, other books I do really that were really rememberable to me are the Carlos Castaneda set of books, which had to do mostly with spiritualism and sorcery, I suppose you could say. Even though I never considered it that, I always considered it as just altered states. There was a little peyote buttons and some, other mystical chemicals. But in the end, I remember Carlos experimenting and Don Juan, his teacher, with these drugs, but they were really only keys. They were only they'd only get you to open the door. You had to go through, and in the end, they weren't using them at all in the series. It was a very fascinating series of books for me because I used them to basically expand my mind, starting at a very early age.
As you kind of developed and started learning about the UFO subject, what really kind of tickled your fancy about it?
You know, not Richard Gere, Dr. Greer, he has stated that it's the most extraordinary cover up because for decades now, we have our government as a whole, I don't think has been very honest with any of us. And the way Dr. Greer speaks about it, I agree 100% that it's probably one of the most profound cover-ups. I think last time I heard some of his speaking, he mentioned that it could be pushing the black operations to cover it up, and the reverse engineering uh, was probably totaling more than $20 trillion by at this point. And these are all hidden funds. And just that fact alone has to make the average American think about what is their government doing and why. And that was why I wrote this book. I mean, the disclosure that people are just getting interested in ever since David Grush came out and actually said on camera in front of our Congress people that he, not himself, but he was very familiar with the people who had hands-on experience with both the craft, the reverse engineering, and actually the aliens themselves. So to not be interested in this subject, you'd have to be dead. That's the way I would put it.
Dick, are you surprised that still so many of your scientific brethren and sisters are so jaded about this UFO topic?
It goes along with what Dr. Greer and people like Chris Blezo and Ray Hernandez are mostly interested in, and that's what I'm always interested in, and that is the what is consciousness? The hard science problem. How deep does it go into our reality that we are in right now? And then, of course, um, and their discoveries with quantum mechanics and string theory, the idea of multiple realms, multiple dimensions is well established within the quantum area ever since Max Planck came out and said that consciousness, that matter is derived from consciousness. And I do believe that too. Um, When I mean, I've experienced it. When I've traveled outside of my body, the distinction on lower levels where you take a look at your surroundings, they're alive. There's an energy. There's especially in anything moving or that is alive on this level of reality. Like the trees, the trees were always glowing bright and shiny and flashing their leaves around, almost like in response to me looking at them. They would almost be trying to talk to me with their flashing and their movement when I was traveling outside my body. So the energy and the idea that now is well established about some fundamentals ever since the 1910 Paris Accord, or I should say Expo with Max Planck, uh, actually telling all the world, this was 220 years ago or whatever, not no 120 years ago, uh, telling the world, look, there's a lot more than just us, and there's a lot behind matter, and that is all consciousness. Um, so the idea that scientists might be uh, stalling or dragging their feet or not admitting um, the idea and the extent to which it is controlling this life and our lives completely, and influencing everything around us, and to lack the certitude, to lack the moral ethics, really, to just like our politicians are not, they lack very little moral ethics in this department because, like Ray Hernandez and Chris Blezo and Dr. Greer and myself, these things extend into all areas of the paranormal. Um, the the there is it's such a fearful thing, I think, for leadership, both academically and at the government level, of losing power, of losing the idea that there is so much more to this reality, which in that pool, that the center of all that, almost you'd have to look at advanced beings that have propagated across the universe. I mean, the numbers, it's clear that we're not alone, and probably never have been, even on Earth when I say that. But their influence here, whatever they are doing, either they're in a hybrid form or directly influencing governments and maybe scientists. Um, I know on a conscious level, there is a increase of overall consciousness in the world. I think COVID pushed everybody kind of asleep, and then they went into their dreams more, and they maybe looked at their lives closer. There's nothing like a catastrophe to make you look at your life closely. So the scientists are not, and the politicians are not doing uh, their due diligence in this area. There's no doubt about it. And in the end, and I'll have to say, Dr. Greer is 100% correct when he says that these entities, these beings that travel light years beyond our comprehension, um, have complete control over a higher consciousness, a manifestation of that consciousness directly. And they're not here to harm us. They are observing us. They're worried about nuclear weapons. They're worried about some of our stupid things we do. And if we could have true leadership, nothing came out of the David Grush meeting. It was very disappointing. They were supposed to meet in a skiff, but then, of course, David Grush was pulled his clearances to even talk in private to the very interested congressman, which was on both sides of the aisle. It's a travesty, really. The whole idea that scientists and politicians and educators too, and media, don't get me started on that. They're so like in the pocket of whatever. There's a good chance the media and maybe these other leaders of our country are in the pocket of something, and I don't want to guess at that. But and when I say in the pocket, I don't mean bribery. I mean just straight out intimidation. That would be my guess.
Right. Right. How do you tie out of body experiences and the consciousness phenomena to UFOs?
Well, I could give you some examples, my own personal ones, and I could also give you examples of really some other explorers of the astral dimensions and multiple dimensions that science has already established through quantum mechanics. There's at least 11 realms. I'll just call them realms within our universe. You can call them parallel dimensions. You can think of them that way, but you can also think of them as higher realms, realms that we can't actuate, we can't get up to, where let's just call, this a 3D, and then there's the fourth dimension and then the fifth dimension where there's no time or space, and the advanced beings are more than likely at least at those areas and higher, almost up to the angelic realms for sure. And to contact them out of body is a real good way. I don't. This is what CE5 does with Dr. Greer. They get together, and I talked to you about the importance of meditation in our last podcast, and that's what Dr. Greer, he has a training perspective for his people that he gathers at night under the skies, and they basically meditate and follow a procedure to call ETs in, and Chris Blezo, they've had headgear on him. They can't explain it. He goes into a gamma level of consciousness, and they come right in. So, and as far as cover-ups and theories, Chris was pointing out that the entities that are responding to his group and his callings are very dynamic. They flash up, they flash big, they disappear. They're actually trans-dimensional. There's no doubt about it. And Chris was explaining that we had a drone activity, which was right after a certain predictive thing that they had told him. I don't want to get Chris's statement wrong, but he said the drone activity, which Dr. Greer believes is mostly, our own our own military and dark operations to obfuscate the real cover-up, because Chris had stated, and I had also heard, that people had seen a lot of orbs. Now, orbs are Chris's thing, and both Ray and Dr. Greer are predominantly interested in interdimensionals. If you think about it, how do you get a solid ship, a million light years away here and then crash and get shot down. What is that? There's so many there's so there's so many obfuscations by the government. It's disgusting, actually. So yeah, the alien thing I think is very center to consciousness and to OBE, the OBE access. Another great story. I don't know if we have time for it.
We got about 4 minutes. We got some time.
Okay, well, I can do that. I had interviewed a Vincent Field, and he's a very experienced out of the body explorer. In the beginning, he would, like a lot of people, feel as though there was a egregore or some archetype showing up in his hypnagogic state between sleep and wakefulness. And it turned out that the grays were like just waiting for him, and he would just snap back into his body with fear in the beginning. And then he just got used to them, and they actually, he went along with them, and which they say if you want to do, you want to kind of give in to the experience if you want it to continue. So he went onto their ship, and they were probing him and so forth and so on, and he finally started communicating with them through telepathy, and said, why am I here? Why are you interested in me? And what are you doing? And the story, it's not a story. This happened to Vincent. And they said, well, we want to know how you're accessing higher dimensions. We can't do that. And we would like to learn what you do and what we need to do to go higher, from their fifth dimension where they are, or wherever the grays, are hanging. Now, that's not to say there's no way they're not already getting there one way or another. My true belief is the higher energy trans interdimensionals are traveling purely by consciousness, but they're also carrying along biological entities with them that can transmutate into 3D. When you're in the astral, you're not a floaty little ghost. You have everything's solid. It's another world that's solid and more real than this world. I know that's hard to swallow for most people listening to this podcast, but that's just the way it is. You get to a certain level, and it's just like here, but it's just amazing. There's a lot more creativity when you get higher in the higher realms, and a lot more thought projection works the higher you go. Excuse me.
We got about a minute to go here before we have to go to break at the bottom of the hour. Author Dick Landon is our guest tonight on Spaced Out Radio. The consciousness aspect is so amazing because it's really difficult to describe to somebody who doesn't understand this process. Give me a 1 minute answer on how to describe consciousness.
Well, the first time you escape your body, and I mean escape it consciously, with intention. It is probably one of the most profound things. It's the most profound thing that's ever happened to me the first time I did it, consciously trying to do it. So when you do that, you realize all of you goes. There's no difference. You're not different. Well, I should qualify it a little bit. I'm like a 5-year-old when I get out there. I'm a little innocent. I'm a little emotional.
Right.
You have to kind of control.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. We're going to step out for a quick break here. Author Dick Landon is our guest tonight. He's got a brand new book out called Two Black Op, Fears of Catastrophic Disclosure. We're going to get into that and astral travel next on Spaced Out Radio. Stay tuned, everybody. All right, we are clear. And there we go.
All right.
See who's joined us. Lord Starfox, welcome to SOR Chat. Elegant Birch, welcome to SOR Chat. And Eversore, nice to see you. Questions will come in hour 2, everybody. Hour 2. Davey, what's happening? Good to have you back. And Dirty Filth down there, he'll give us a thumbs up because he likes us that way. Are you in California, Dick?
Yeah. Yeah. Santa Cruz.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it is. It's every place in the rest of the world and in the United States is, 90 plus 90% humidity.
Rarely humidity where I am.
Yeah, you're up in the north woods
Oh,
of
yeah.
north of Vancouver.
About 5.5, 6 hours northeast of Vancouver.
Have you ever seen a Bigfoot?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I've seen 3 of them.
Yeah. And people draw the line sometimes at Bigfoot, as far as believability, but they're just a transdimensional. They're here on
I
vacation.
love them. I
Yeah.
love them.
They're here just experiencing Earth,
Mm-hmm. My brother and friend, Eugene Braxton. How are you, my buddy?
All right, Eugene, how's it going?
Much love for you, my friend. Leacham,
book
how
is
you
on the way.
doing? Yeah, I've been a huge fan of Eugene's for about 8 years.
He's the sweetest guy.
Oh,
I mean, just a real gentleman.
have you got to meet him personally yet? Because I have not.
No, I haven't. Nope. But
Love the man. Love the man.
He is.
He's so smart.
Oh yeah. He's the mystic. He's the American mystic.
Oh yeah.
He's
Blue
writing
Cruz, how
another
are you?
book. I think he's writing another book.
I hope so.
I got his first book. He signed it for me.
I have to have my brain on full maximum power to understand with what he's saying because he's just so brilliant.
I would say you're right. There is he doesn't hold anything back. He's so giving all his ideas.
Right. We've got about 2 minutes.
So did you have a tough day today, Dave?
I always have a tough day every day. But that's okay. The weekend is just around the corner. I know we're only on Monday, but the weekend is just around the corner.
How about you? Have you seen UFOs, Dave?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm a multiple experiencer.
Yeah. You scored 95 on Ray Hernandez tests.
Did you see my results?
You told me last time.
Yeah. It was crazy. I just like, oh, I'll just check that one. Oh, I'll check that one. Gizmo, how are you?
It's crazy how Ray, just out of the blue, he had a sick dog and all of a sudden there's a UFO over his house. I'm not sure how that story exactly went, but he's a scientist and bam, it hits you all at once.
All right. Thank you tonight so far to Kitty Caddywhack, Mel WD40, and Forrest Louie for the great super chats. We greatly appreciate your love and support. Don't forget, you can also join our YouTube membership right now and shop at our Spaced Out Radio store. We do not have ugly swag, people. No ugly swag. Check it on out. Here comes the second half hour of Spaced Out Radio tonight. My name is Dave Scott. Thank you for joining me. We really appreciate earning your listening ears wherever you are on this beautiful planet we call Earth. Hey, we want to remind all of you that if you've missed portions of this show or others, you can check out our free archives on YouTube or any major podcast network. Our website, spacedoutradio.com, we have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read the news wire, check out our swag as well. You can follow us on X at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on Patreon in the Space Travelers Club. Here we go. Author Dick Landon. He has a new book out, Two Black Op, Fears of Catastrophic Disclosure. We're talking a little bit of UFOs right now, but I promise we will get into astral travel and projection as well. Dick, thank you so much for being here. Oh, let me get you back on here. There we go. There we go. My bad there. My bad. Thank you for joining us.
It's great to be here, Dave. Always.
Dick, there is a large contingent of the government assets in the UFO world that claim that catastrophic disclosure, nobody wants it. It's not the way to go. It's bad for the world, bad for the economy, bad for the aliens, and more importantly, bad for the humans. You've just written a book. I know it's science fiction, but you've written a book about Two Black Op, Fears of Catastrophic Disclosure, which people can get on Amazon right now. What is your thoughts on catastrophic disclosure? But first, tell our listeners what it is.
I think it's probably a lot of leaders around the world think of it as the most hideous thing that could ever happen to them. They seriously fear it, probably more than anything, because of their decades of cover up. First of all, they'd have to, their little psyches would have to be crushed if it was revealed to all of the earth, to everyone on earth, that we weren't alone. And they're not here to cut out our livers, and it's a very, and that's why I talk about it in the book so much. About consciousness kind of falls into it naturally, because they're, you know where they tell you if you watch so much news that you'll be depressed, and your whole, basically it's like a psychic vampire, taking all your energy. And so it's the most terrible thing about it is that they aren't interested in advancing humanity at all. They want to control humanity. They want to control the resources. They want everybody to buy things. They want everybody to go to Walmarts and Target. And they want everybody to be at each other's throats one way or another, it seems. And that never goes away. I don't know how we get there. I'll have to say that a lot of people out there. Have you heard of the 100 monkey?
No, tell me about that
theory. Well,
tell me about that.
Greer believes in it strictly. He believes, and I do too. And I guess it's a phenomenon that happened in some small islands in the South Seas where I guess they figured about 100 of the monkeys out of thousands on the island. It was just a monkey island and um, small island, and they had to break the coconuts. So, so the idea is that the 100th monkey smashed the coconut with a rock as a tool. And everybody's probably seen monkeys now. They use tools all the time. But this was something that was studied by our biologists and so forth and so on at the turn of the century. And they discovered that when these monkeys were using the stones for tools, it was a matter of almost instantaneously other biologists on other islands in the South Seas where they have these monkey populations and the coconuts that they had to eat, were all using rocks within a very short period to open the coconuts. And the way Dr. Greer expresses it, he says that we're on a curve, and the curve is pretty steep now. In the last, I want to say since COVID, it's just really steep, and people are getting to a point. I'm not saying they're all psychic or becoming psychic, but they are raising their consciousness enough through meditation mostly, and different, binaural beats or hemisync out of the Monroe Institute. And the subject of raising your vibration level, your energy level, your etheric body, these kind of subjects, 5 years ago, probably people would, tune it out right away. But the idea that these things exist and you're able to raise your level of consciousness or awareness or your perception, your abilities, your overall brain neuroplasticity to a level where parts of your brain are talking to other parts of the brain they don't usually talk to, and you might develop some psychic abilities after that, at some point. Definitely, if you're out of your body to a longer extent and many times. My synchronicities, like deja vu, like you wanted to talk to maybe about this time around, are increasing. So what Greer has theorized, that it's like a 100th monkey, that, and this might be just something that the dark ops out there are really fearing, and because this might be they're so jealous of Dr. Greer and his ability with CE5 people to call down. uh, you know I'm sure they're infiltrated with Greer, his work, and I'm glad he's still walking the earth. Really, there's so much jealousy that you could actually communicate with a higher level being like this, and the government at the same time's covering up, hiding. Uh, they're so scared. So catastrophic disclosure is the point at which they can't. I'm not talking about the saucers landing on the White House lawn, but Greer is saying that there might be a point where these people can travel, these beings can travel hundreds of billions and millions of light years, and here they are looking at us. They're they're very caring, and they're looking over us, and they're waiting for the 100th monkey, to drop the stone on the coconut for us. And when that happens, we could have a catastrophic in terms of the government and those people in power that don't want to let go of it and have been hiding this for so long. It's catastrophic to them, but it would be a complete renaissance for mankind. Just think of it for a moment, Dave.
Mhm.
We're talking now. Greer kind of he put a number to it, which I'm fascinating when someone of that retribute puts a number to it, but think of uh, uh, a civilization that is a 1,000 years advanced from ours, minimum, minimum, what they could help us with, what they could show us. Dr. Greer, for example, mentions, free energy, which, you know, there's been some, I think, being an engineer, you hear rumors, and I was in the patent business too, that, uh, some of these patents just disappear. Some of these advanced patents, because of these scientists, these independent minds. I mean, Edison used to fall asleep in a chair holding two ball bearings and wait until he was in a hypnagogic state, and the balls would hit the ground, and he would zero in on exactly what he was thinking at that moment. So inventors know about this altered consciousness, this higher states,
Mhm.
and but these patents, I think they're getting buried. Dave, what do you think?
Oh, I think they are too. I mean, look, there are so many people who have tried to tie this together that there is something there, but I think mainstream science blocks it by using it as, pseudoscience. I think the government blocks it because they don't want people to know what they already have. And I think that if people really tried to figure out what the government was hiding, especially when it comes to UFOs, we would be looking at something catastrophic because they would be called out on the secrets they keep. They're not supposed to be secret keepers, yet here we are.
Yeah, it's I wrote this book, and it brings in all this science, Dave. I bring in all the consciousness. I bring in out of body experiences. But the idea behind my book was to write a fiction that kind of mimics, the situation that we're talking about right now. And it's I think people would really enjoy reading it because they might realize the possibilities of consciousness and how ET uh, could help us in that manner. The hiding, the reverse engineering that's going on, the intimidation that's going on. This should all be corrected. There and supposedly we live in the most open, freedom-loving country in the world, and I don't know the policies. I think France, their policies are a little more open about disclosure. Israel might be too. They've had a couple officials, you know, without too much flack, come out and say, yeah, we've been filming these guys. But it'd be nice for them to all come out and say, we're going to stop this game, and before catastrophic disclosure. The catastrophic disclosure, I mean, it's not, like I said, it's only going to be catastrophic to those people that are lying about all this. And the ones that think they have the secret reverse engineered tools that will either what their end game is. The end game is scary, Dave. I mean, what would the end game be for the government and the leaders of the world be planning? Is what is it? I want to hear what you think.
Yeah, I think it's all control. I really do think that it's full control of what people think, what people can do. And I realize that is an easy answer, Dick, because everything, I mean, the president burps the wrong way. Well, that's because they're trying to take control. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everything seems to garner some sort of government control and regulation these days, especially up here in Canada where I am. And it's just, you get to the point where you get numb to it, you just tune it out. And when it comes to this subject, I think what they're trying to control is the secrets. There's
Yeah.
a lot of secrets going on since Roswell and probably before. Roswell, I think, was the turning point because they finally had some ability to do something about it and to hide it rather than, bring in the cavalry on their horses and buggies. I think that's the dangerous part is we don't know what they're trying to cover up. We don't know their technology. We don't know what they are providing for themselves, which could help out humanity. I mean, I'm not a tree hugger by any sense of the word, but I am about pro people. And I would like to see some more of that. I just don't know if they have the ability to do so with such a strong military industrial complex.
Yeah. Sadly, it's all about the money. It's all like, in the end, it's about the money and the power. And, you know, um, I'm hoping that we have some people in Congress or someplace in the world that could raise, because if they did something like that, if they were to say, okay, here's kind of some stuff we've done and we're sorry, but we couldn't help ourselves, we made these alliances, these alliances could be with, I'm not saying all the aliens are like angels or anything. They could be like in my fiction book I wrote about this alliance between years ago between our government and some reptilians, for example. I use reptilians because they got a bad rap, and I'm sure they have good reptilians and bad reptilians, just like people. But so the idea to open up the door, just give it a crack and start to make amends, I think would be so admirable. Um, and if it was a coordinated effort from the top, or even at one of the skunk works that maybe have control of some of these reverse engineered aircraft and so forth to do it, maybe even on their own. Somebody has to have the balls. That's what I'm saying, Dave, to crack the door
Yeah.
and and
I would
start.
agree. Somebody has to be in the know, but nobody seems to know who's in the know, what's in the know. They just know that somebody's in the know.
Um, yeah. Well, what they know is the most important. I don't care about the somebody and who cracks the door. The idea is that people have to start trusting their government, and this is the biggest. Like Dr. Greer, this is the biggest, most expensive hidden budgetary item in the United States than anything. Nothing comes close to it. Like, what could Doge do? They didn't even go to the DOD. So anyway, I'm starting to whine and complain too much here, Dave. I think about it.
Well, I think in the end we all are because we're all a little bit fed up. We're all a little bit fed up with the shell game, and I've seen people who are in this field for a long time, Dick, decades, who finally said, "Had enough. Not doing it anymore. Don't
Yeah.
want to."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why I wrote my book. I hope people enjoy it. It's I think pretty close to a scenario that I hope I'm not stepping on too many toes. It's all fiction, guys, and I made it up, okay? But it's got a lot of science in the book, and a lot of straightforward reasoning. And I connected the dots, I think, pretty well, and that's why I call it catastrophic disclosure, because I want people to realize, um, those in the know, those are the important people, I guess. I mean, they're the ones that you have to shake their cages. Um, and not that this book is going to shake anybody's cage or anything, but it is everything is going to be a consciousness thing. And if we can get near the 100th monkey idea, and maybe we won't need our wimpy little frightened leaders around the world to they're just going to have their pants, their butts smacked, because ET will just go, here you go. And Bledsoe had already said the orbs were sent right after, I think it was an Israeli Iranian attacks. It was a while ago, towards the beginning of the year. They were exchanging missiles, and that didn't ramp up. Maybe the people in the know said, don't ramp it up because the orbs are coming. And that the orbs were covered up distinctly by the militarized drones. So have you heard that before, Dave?
Oh yeah, I believe it was drones. I had a couple of different insiders tell me that.
Yeah. But do you think the drones were an operation by
yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Distinctly.
Now here's the thing though. Were all of them? We don't know. But I think the majority of them were.
Yeah. Well, I 100% go with Bledsoe on that. And Bledsoe said that he was notified through higher consciousness contacts with these light beings in the orbs, that this was going to be a signal for them to show up in mass. And I think we the military, if you notice, Iran and Israel did not ramp it up after that kind of big attack there. So they probably had to cool their jets, stop, so the orbs would slow down. So catastrophic disclosure, fellas, out there, think about the right thing to do. Think about your children, your consciousness, your ability, your responsibility, and your honesty to be a human being, and stop playing some type of game with all of humanity. Just stop it. Stop the game. Stop the silliness. Let's grow up. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm ranting again.
No, but you're. I don't think you're ranting. I think you're showing him an emotion to a very, very serious topic that very few take seriously. The bigger name senators and Congress people who actually have the pull are not really doing anything about this subject. They leave it to the newbies or the underlings. Only recently have we heard both J.D. Vance and Tulsi Gabbard come out and express their knowledge and interest of this subject without getting into detail of what they know.
Yeah.
It's an emotional topic, if I could use that term correctly. It's an emotional topic because the people who have been taken, the people who want the answers, the people who've been directly affected by this, Dick, they just want to know what is going on. Where are they from? Why were they chosen?
Yeah. Like I said, they could crack the door at least. You're right.
So, if we can't crack the door open, what's the point? And I think a lot of people forget as we get ready to go to break here for a moment.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, Dick, forget there's two different ufologies. You have the original ufology that's still going on, but it's been kind of put in the back burner over the last few years for UApology. There's a big difference between the two. Many don't realize it. Many don't care to realize it. But when you realize the difference between the two, now you know what you're looking for and what you're not looking for. UAP or man-made. UFOs, That's what we want. Dick, I'm going to get you to hold on right there. We're going to take a break. Dick has a brand new book out, To Black Op, Fears of Catastrophic Disclosure. Just type in Dick Landon on Amazon. The book pops right up. Incredible cover. This looks good, people. This is what you want for your reading entertainment. This is Spaced Out Radio with host Dave Scott. All right, Dick, we have about 6 minutes here. We're going to turn things over to Dirty Filth through the break so that way he can go over his cartoon. And we'll see you in a couple minutes, okay?
Great.
Oh, well, excuse me. I was just attempting to finish up the last little bit of this, but I guess Mr. Gremlin here has decided otherwise, so I'll just have to work around him. That's all right. He's a good guy anyways, that Gremlin, aren't you, mister? Hey? Yeah, you're a good boy, mister. He's not the smartest cat, but he's a good cat nonetheless. I just have a little bit extra I had to put in the backgrounds here that I forgot about to put on earlier. Anyway, hope everyone's having a wonderful evening so far. I just got this new computer all finally figured out and everything, and now I just click everything, get right onto line. Yes, he's sliding down, folks, by the way. He's slowly disappearing. There you go, mister. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah. And he doesn't realize how big he is either. He's a pretty big gremlin. So, I also want to thank everybody for hanging out with me last Saturday on my show. As if you're interested in cartoons, I draw cartoons on Saturdays at 2 p.m. Pacific time. And it's basically just me painting up a cartoon and talking about interesting things, like why you should always drink your pickle juice because it's tasty. Or how the Mothman is going to actually surprise Kentucky Goblin here and crush him at Ghost Hunter. That's what they're playing. It's an arcade machine. One of the arcade machines at the space bar. And for the longest time, the Goblin has ran the high score up and likes to make fun of people that can't beat him. So, little does he know, Mothman's been practicing quite a bit. So I think Frank's going to take him to the cleaners, folks. That's actually Mothman's name, by the way, if you're wondering. It's actually Frank. Alrighty. Look at that. It's all done, skis. Sorry, mister, I'm going to have to move here and get the pen. Ugh, bonk. Yeah, look at this thing. It's just piled right on there like a dirty shirt. Unbelievable. Cats, I tell you. Let me just mark this real quick here. You all right, buddy boy? Yeah, you're fine. After this, someone mentioned about UFO crashes. Good enough for now. Finish the rest of it afterwards. Just have a quick gander at it, though. Here we go. So I have evidence here of UFO crashes. It started off with Carl getting FAA certified for Bruce not breathing at all. And then Carl decides to borrow the spacecraft. Carl's precious, or Stanson's, jeez, ow. Fabrice's spacecraft, bloody hells. He's clawing me to death here, folks. I'm dying. Anyway, so they go to town. It's you know what? I'll just have to show you on Saturday. You can't rush a good story. Let's see here. Where's my little border? What have you done with it, mister? Terror. There we go. There it is, all nice and done up. I think I can. Yeah, there we go. Ugh. I got that weird glove because then it's really warm right now and I get all slimy and filthy, and then it ruins the watercolor. Yeah. I'm just gonna chew on this. Really? Yeah. It's all right, mister. You've had enough. Yeah, orange cats, I tell you, folks. Incredible. I hope everyone's having a good night. I'm gonna have to deliver some snacks here to these guys. I think Dave's probably be back from letting the dog man out. Yeah, there he is.
Filthy, I got to tell you, your post on Facebook about about walking in the forest was hilarious. I had a good laugh at that during the break.
Okay, everybody, have a good night.
See you, buddy. Dirty filth, everybody. Hi, Night Drive. Hi, gorgeous and amazing Kira. Mike Bothwell, how are you? Yennefer with a soft J, nice to see you. And big thank you tonight so far to Forrest Louis ×2, Mel WD40, and Kitty Caddywhack for the super chats. It's a great way to support what we do on this show on a nightly basis. Astral Fugitive, how are you? Don't forget, you can join our YouTube membership and get invited to private conversations online and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. You want to do it? Yeah, you do. And our store is open. We do not have ugly swag, people. No ugly swag. Boondock, how you doing? Let's go here. Donnie Cho. Here comes hour number 2 of Spaced Out Radio tonight. My name is Dave Scott. Thank you very much for tuning us in, as we love to broadcast live to you each and every night right here on the show. Hey, we want to say hello to everyone tuning us in on our terrestrial affiliates around North America, digitally on every major podcast network. Our website, spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read the news wire, check out our swag as well. You can follow us on X at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on Patreon in the Space Travelers Club. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Rejectamenta. Rejectamenta is your password. Use it wisely, Space Travelers, as the Clam sets the password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Let's bring in Dick Landon for hour number 2 of the show. We're having a great time. We've been talking a little bit of catastrophic disclosure because he's got a brand new book out that can be found on Amazon called Two Black Op, Fears of Catastrophic Disclosure. Dick, thank you so much for being here tonight. It's absolutely a lot of fun.
Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it a lot.
One of the reasons why we wanted to bring you on was to talk about astral travel and astral projection. This is a big topic that a lot of people can try in their homes. They could go anywhere they want. First off, for those who may not know what it is, give us a definition.
Well, quite simply, and how unbelievably it might sound, is that between sleep and wakefulness, there's an altered state that you go into. And if you've trained your mind with meditation and quieted your mind, you'll recognize it. And using different techniques, there's dozens of techniques out there. Once you establish this conscious, you're still conscious, but your body is asleep. And you can actually almost shake your inside body around. You know, if you can imagine staying still and shaking something inside you. Well, that something inside you is your etheric body. It's a dimension of that you've always had, and in this magic zone, that you can practice some intentions and meditations. You'll be able to shake that internal body around. Sometimes there's an extraordinary body vibration that you'll experience that will actually be a trigger for you. It's very the sensation that you get once you get there is very visceral. It can be frightening, so you have to be ready for it. But if you read enough about it, yeah, should be able to get through it. But it is one of the hardest things for people to get through because you're fully conscious, and you can actually just roll right out of your body and shake it right out, and you'll be right there in your bedroom. Um, so was your question about what is the definition of astral projection?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So that body that you just stepped out of is still in the bed, but now it's like conked out. I mean, it's asleep, 100%. And your mind, 100% of your mind, even though I have come out as, like, I always refer to myself as like being 5 years old when I get out of my body. So it's good to have a plan sometimes because at a 5-year-old, they just kind of wander around. But so I have a little maturity at it now. But the definition of it is you discover in one fell swoop, one night, that you are a infinite, immortal, um, multi-dimensional person, and not just this physical meat body. You're a lot more than just this. So that's what it is, and you'll discover it all within an instant the first time you do it, and it will be shocking. It will be enlightening. It will be beyond comprehension because it's an experience. You can think about, hitting your finger, your thumb with a hammer, but when you do it, it's a little different, right, Dave? It's like that.
Doesn't feel good.
So it's an experience, a full
Do you
blown
think that
experience.
many of us are astral traveling in our dreams?
I do, because do you have dreams where, for an example, do you have any dreams where you know everybody in your dream, but you recognize everybody, but you don't know who they are? So when you dream, you're crossing the veil of time and space, and you could be meeting with, uh, more than likely, past incarnations of your life. Um, there's a great movie I could recommend to everybody. It's a TV series by BBC's. It's called Life After Life, or Life, yeah, Life After Life. And there's more and more stuff coming out about this, Dave. I think it's fascinating. But that's a great series, Life After Life. It's a mini series by BBC. I think, yeah, people, and when they're dreaming, I'm trying to think of another example. You're in the astral plane, and you're not just in your head. Most all dreams are, Jungian shadow. What'd you have for dinner last night? Driven, or yeah, any of your repressed emotions, trauma, post-traumatic syndrome. I mean, those are all in your head. But if you have dreams that are a little more, are everybody has had dreams that are more colorful, more vivid, and real, so real. Um, and like I said, you're around people and you're just having a good time, but you don't know who they are. So you're in a past life. So yeah, you're out of your body, and I would say, I would associate it with vivid dreams that you have, and say maybe 10% or so of your dreams might, and that's a good sign too, because if you have these vivid dreams, you're that much closer to, you know, consciously having lucid dreams, and then consciously getting out of your body. And I, go ahead.
Is it worth it? Like, should people be trying this?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. It's life-changing. It's healthy for you. It's, the
Well,
benefits.
yeah.
What?
Explain the benefits if you don't mind.
Oh, well, okay. So let's look at the most obvious. You lose the fear of death completely. You realize that you're a trans-dimensional being. It turns, an atheist into going to church again, or I mean, this the level of spiritual uh uh I'm trying to pick the word correctly. Um you're having a spiritual experience. Now, people have all different kinds of spiritual experiences when they're in their waking life. I mean, when you see a UFO, you'll have a spiritual experience, I'm sure. But this is self-induced, and you can, uh, for example, as far as self-healing, I was really sick one time, and I used meditation to self-heal. And at that time, I was having a lot of out-of-body experiences. Um, we're all going to have an out-of-body experience when we die, you know. So that's another very real, I mean, top of the list benefit. If you do this when you are knocking on heaven's door, with Bob Dylan, you're at the door, you're knocking, you can construct your heaven on the other side of that door. Think about that. Think about when you die, the Buddhists like to call it, the bardos, and the clear light mind, and it gives you the ability to reach nirvana. There's different levels of heaven. There's the different levels. They're solid, Dave. These are real places. Okay. People are having fantastic lives in these places. They aren't reincarnated. The reincarnation is your choice, mostly because there's no judgment up there. There's no judgment when you cross over. But you can configure that that ability, the ability to make educated choices, because you've experienced the astral, you've experienced a dimension that was far beyond this one. And when you die, um, the level of your experience and what you belief is everything, right? They always say that, right? Well, belief is one thing, experience is another thing. If you experience this, you don't have to believe. You're going to be at heaven's door knocking, and the configuration as that door opens up and what's behind it is going to be primarily thought driven. You will join a consensus reality that you harmonize with. What your what your energy level is set to when you cross that door, you will join with on the other side. Now, some people will say that's malarkey. Okay, well, fine. But I say once you experience the etheric body and the consciousness that these places that you might be able to visit, uh, it's kind of like like I said this to before. It's like Christopher Columbus. Okay, the people the people that are doing this and experiencing it are like Christopher Columbus. They are adventurers. They are consciousness explorers, and you're at that. Uh, you take that with you when you die. Okay, and it's very important. You're you want to say something, Dave?
No, I'm
Oh, okay.
listening in.
Um, the other thing about healing, I mean, the the neuroplasticity. They know now that you can rewire your brain. I mean, it's a fact that Tibetan yogis that are 90 years old have brains of 25-year-olds. They've mapped them out. They also have incredible cross connections between the two hemispheres. Um, they say that the out of body experience is somewhere between those two hemispheres. The point, they don't know. There's a lot of scientific stuff that needs to be done. They have proven lucid dreams, without a doubt. People are in an altered state with lucid dreams, but you can heal. Forget about dementia, forget about the Alzheimer's. Uh, your mind is going to be young when you're older. Okay, boom, just like that. If you work to expand it through meditation and these type of if you're lucky enough, that I said before, can anybody astral project? Yeah, that's the big question. Can I do this? I say yes. You have a etheric body. You have talked to people in your dreams that you don't know who they are. You've already been to the astral. You just weren't consciously aware of it. So yes, anybody can do it, but it does take determination. It takes a lot of meditation and practice. And I'm getting to the point where I've seen and experienced things in the astral that I almost feel like I can't top,
Right.
if that makes sense. It's like,
Give it for people who may not understand it. Give us an example of what it would be like to astral travel. What are you seeing? Where are you going?
okay. In the beginning, what I did was call out for help from my guides. Okay. Now it turns out that there's a lot of, at the lower levels, most people come out, they'll be in the lower level. They'll be, their room might be different. When they get out, they'll notice changes. It's not the same place. It's an altered reality. It's an altered parallel universe. Let's say, it's a realm. Okay. You're in the lower realm. From that point, what I did was I called upon my guides, which in my innocence, anybody could show up. I mean, you have to learn discernment. I told you a little story last time, about the guy in the golden car that showed up in the front of
Yes.
the house, and it was tunnel vision, and I could say something was off. And I said, "Are you a card carrying agent of Jesus Christ?" And he flipped out. And so I knew he wasn't. There's a lot of activity in the lower realms. So they can't touch you. You can simply ignore them. You've heard about the old hag, the hat man, the shadow people. Yeah, I've had them all right out in my bedroom. As soon as I travel out into the living room, if I'm going that way, if I don't just go out my wall. But anyway, my initially would ask for guides. So that was interesting because it worked. Somebody showed up. The first couple of times I had, okay, this is how crazy it is, Dave. Like I said, it's like Christopher Columbus. So I'm on my knees in the backyard, and I'm going, please come and let me have your guidance. Please, my guide, I need to have help in the astral. Come, help me. Just sincerity. On my knees in the backyard. I did it half dozen times at least in the beginning. And the first time it ever happened, it was really cool. The first time you do this kind of stuff, it's like a fella showed up, a woman, a being showed up. It was about 6 or 7 feet tall, and it was a walking type of cactus man. Okay, it was like cactus, and it's like just, trotting along. The next time when I called for a guide, it was a giant black bird with stiff legs. The first guy turned into a basketball player, and he was like a big, tall guy with red hair.
Wow.
I looked him up on the internet later, and I asked him once again, very naively. I said, "Is love the matter? Is love the substance of the universe? Is it only love?" And so he started giving me relational advice on, you know, oh, love is important, and everybody needs to be loved, and you need a mate, and you don't want to be alone. Wait, time out, time out. No, I'm not asking that. So you get fooled with. There's a lot of times when I had guides. I was really into guides for quite a while, and the big thing with them, okay, besides trying to scare you maybe or flip you out, just get you back in your. I think that's the number one thing with these beings. There's I'm not saying there's yin and yang. There's good and evil. There's both sides of the coin. But the side that you're the predominant side and really the control of the whole universe is the good side. Okay, but it's a learning process. They say Earth is the most amazing place to learn. They say aliens come here to incarnate. They just want to. It's like Disneyland for them. I don't know. I don't know if they're incarnating without remembering, though. See, that's a pet peeve of mine. Yeah. So I'm all over the place here, Dave, as usual. But the health benefits. I healed myself definitely from a surgical operation on myself. I also know that I've had my hands on my body, my etheric hands on my body. So I'm going to try to do some work on my body sometime. Not that I have anything that I have to work on in particular, but maybe I could, you know, still, advance my consciousness by taking my etheric hands and putting it on my head directly. It's very hard to do that though, because most people will wake up. It's if you want to get away from your body. Matter of fact, I would say get out of your neighborhood. You can fly out, get away from your neighborhood, and
What if
start.
somebody
Yeah.
sneaks into your body?
Oh, you asked me this before. I have an answer for you this time. I thought that was a tremendous question, Dave, where the twin sisters, one of them was kind of depressed and wanted to kill herself, but she didn't want to kill
Yes.
herself. And they went off to a 2-day retreat. I think you said it was only 2 days.
Yes.
And the sisters came back, and you should interview the one sister. I'll tell you that. The one sister came back, and she was different, distinctly different. And of course, her twin would know, if anybody knew, that something was off with her, like majorly different person. So I said, well, nobody's going to jump in. You have free will. Your consciousness is all powerful. It's everywhere, all at once, all times. Nobody can do that to you. But if you go out consciously and you give your free will away, and I was thinking, there's all kinds of beings. She could have raised her consciousness to a quite a high level, and they might have made a deal with her. They could have just gone, hey, Cindy, we hear that you're a little depressed, and here's the contract. I don't know. You and I will switch, for a time period, a lifetime, 5 lifetimes, and and off you go. You can travel and stay at the higher consciousness level of this being, and that being would come back to here and enjoy Disneyland on Earth, either with the veil or without the veil, which, like I said, is a pet peeve of mine. The veil thing and reincarnation and karma are all a pet peeve of mine, which I would love to talk about it too.
Well, let's get into that in the next half hour, Dick, as we have you on the show for another 30 minutes. Dick Landon, he has a brand new book out, Too Black Up. Fears of Catastrophic Disclosure are where we are at. It's been a great show. You can find his book on Amazon. We're going to take some audience questions next. When we return, this is Spaced Out Radio, the second half of the show coming up right after this break.
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio with your host, Dave Scott.
Flying on by here, Dick. It's always a good time when you're here, my friend.
Oh, good, good. I want to at least entertain you, Dave.
Oh, you're doing amazing. You are doing amazing.
There's so much to this, and what you do. I mean, it's amazing. I think you possibly have trouble going to sleep at night after so many of these people that you have on talking about all these.
Sometimes
Yeah,
you become a little bit immune to it,
yeah.
you know.
How many shows have you had?
Over 2,000.
Wow. So
Yeah.
what, 10 years or something?
10 years, yeah.
Wow.
Although I am taking the final week of August off.
Good for you.
So that way I can redo the studio here.
Oh, yeah. There's always things to do around the house,
Oh, yeah.
around the studio. I've been neglecting things. I spent a solid 3 months with the book, and I haven't done that before. So it was like breaking out of jail when I was finished. I was glad to be finished with it. One of these days you'll probably have well, maybe you have. Have you had a hybrid on before with you? Somebody saying
Well,
that they're
people claim, yeah.
yeah, yeah. How do you prove that? They'd have to like start making you talk in tongues or something, I suppose.
You just kind of, how would you put it? You try and be pragmatic about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You try and be a little pragmatic about it. Take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And try and bring the, hopefully that somebody is going to be honest with you. I think, I'll tell you this, Dick. The experiencers are way more honest than the researchers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. Are you speaking specifically to UFO studies?
Any topic.
Any topic, okay.
Any topic.
Yeah.
Any topic on that, man.
And what are your favorite topics?
I love the cryptid stories.
Oh yeah, you like to be scared.
But my favorite stories of all are personal encounters.
Right.
I love people's personal encounters.
Yeah, like Eugene, he's
Yeah.
he would talk about Betty Hill, I guess, or he was friends with Betty Hill. Yeah, sure. Oh, I'm going to have my friend call in some UFOs for me. I know you said it.
You can do it yourself, brother.
Yeah,
It's easy.
What if you were to call in a UFO, Dave, and it just land and come out and say, "All right, buddy, let's go."
It happens.
All right.
It happens. Then you get the shit scared out of you, like happened to me.
They just want some of your sperm or something, I suppose.
Not all of them are perverts.
I didn't say that. They're looking for your genes.
Well, I get that. That's what American Eagle is for these days. They got good genes.
There you go.
We got 35 seconds here before we're coming back. And let's see here. A big thank you to Human Carl, Louis Times 2, Kitty Caddywhack, and Mel WD40. Thank you for the love. And don't forget, you can also join our membership group on YouTube. Granola Grin, how you doing? And of course, you can shop at our Spaced Out Radio store. Why? We do not have ugly swag, people. No ugly swag. So make sure you check it on out. Appreciate that. We're going to come back here in a few seconds' time, and it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. 3 seconds. Hold on. Here we go with the second half of Spaced Out Radio tonight. My name is Dave Scott. How you all doing tonight? Hope you're enjoying this great show that we call the Mighty SOR. Reminder to all of you that if you missed portions of this show or others, check out our free archives on YouTube or any major podcast network. Our website, spacedoutradio.com, we have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read the news wire, check out our swag as well. You can follow us on X at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on Patreon in the Space Travelers Club. For the final time tonight, we say hello to our guest, Dick Landon. Got a brand new book out. It's on Amazon. Two Black Op. Fears of catastrophic disclosure going on right now. And Dick, we're going to get to some audience questions if you don't mind. Greatly appreciate you coming on in.
Oh,
yes.
Awesome.
All right, let's go right to it. Start off with Super Ron. If I make a thing that spins a quartz crystal inside a magnetic field, then place it in a weird energy spot, do you think it would trigger something?
Well, Super Ron 13. Did it take long for you to ask that question? Did you work at that? I have no idea. I've heard and I have used some crystals, and they can excite your whole field if you put them under your bed at night. When you sleep, you might have some really great weird dreams. As far as a weird energy spot, I don't know. Are you thinking about the pyramids or Sonora? I don't. The idea of portals is very interesting to me. I think there are really strong points on the Earth that could excite something like. I mean, crystals themselves have an energy. Everything has an energy. I mean, the desk and the chair that we're sitting, we're at. They're all made of energy. Oh, that's what I was going to mention, Dave. The one of the latest things across in front of my eyeballs on the internet was, the idea of E equals MC squared, that they have figured out, to use the equation to make matter from energy. So that kind of like screams consciousness, doesn't it, Dave? To take energy.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah,
for sure.
So yeah, that did cross in front of me the other day. So that's I mean, yeah, there's energy spots in crystals. You put them together, and there's no doubt they probably would harmonize and resonate somewhat, and you might a UFO might land, or you might have an out of body experience very easily from a meditation, which I've been trying to do. It's what the Tibetan yogis with sleep yoga and dream yoga do. So yeah, why not? Yes, Super Ron. Yes.
All right, let's move on to another question. Let's go to Jay. What does Chris Bledsoe say about the now coming 3i Atlas space object, now on its way here to Earth by the end of October, November?
I don't know. Good question.
Well, what do you think?
I don't know that much about it. It's a brand new one of those objects that is on it takes a weird path, or has a mind of its own. Is that what they're saying? And like we had one pass a while ago, just looked like a big rock. What happened to that one? Anything? there's a lot of space debris out there. For all I know, it could be a probe. It could be they're watching. They figure they can float a rock by, and they want to see if we'll shoot it down or something. The scenarios are endless on this kind of stuff. October, is there something about October? Okay, I'll be ready though. I'll be ready in October, whatever happens. And I don't know what Chris has he hasn't said anything about it that I know of. But I love Chris Blesso. He's one of the most humble,
He's a nice
enlightened people in the world.
He is a nice man, that's for sure.
Yes. Have you had him on?
Oh yeah, a couple times.
Oh, that's awesome. I missed him. I have to look that up.
Yeah, he's pretty great. Let's go over to Yennefer. Is there a difference between astral travel and dream travel?
Oh no, okay, this is how it works. If you're in a dream, the Tibetan yogis go, you're in a dream, right? And to maybe set the stage, you want to think of a dream that you've had often. Like maybe your old house back home when you were a kid or something. A place is good that you have repeatedly in a dream. You can go to that place with intention before you fall asleep. I'm going to go to little Abner's house tonight, and I'm going to visit my friend that I used to play, a kickball with, whatever. Maybe it was an old house where you lived, and so you go there, and you become lucid instantly. You could, if you do this right, when you get there, it'll smack you like a ton of bricks. You're lucid. You're fully aware in a dream. Okay? So then you can enjoy the dream. You can play kickball with your friend, or any nefarious thing you want to do. It's a waste of time. What you should be doing is trying to get to the astral and higher. Like I said, the mechanics, the quantum mechanics say there's 11 dimensions. So you could travel in the future is tough, but you can travel in the past, see yourself as an explorer in the Middle Ages or whatever. You could dream travel that way. You can launch an OBE, an out of body experience, from a lucid dream. It's a really cool, great, semi, easy way to do once you get the techniques down. So yeah, it's the same thing. That's my answer.
Love it. Let's move on to another one here. Let's go next to Carrie. What if you're having dreams of you flying like Superman, and you're fighting someone that is also flying and having a battle, and you wake up freaked out?
Stop fighting. Just make friends. If you're doing this and you're not lucid enough, you can't stop fighting and you can't make friends, because your reptilian mind in the back of your head, with all your Jungian thoughts and all your latent, mixed up, kind of troublesome ideas, makes you fight with a Superman. You have to get beyond the fighting instinct, and you become aware that here he is again. I'm fighting with Superman, and I'm just going to wake up and be freaked out again. So you shake hands with a Superman. You say, "Hey, let's see. I'll race you to the moon, around the moon and back." I had a friend who had a near-death experience just when he was 14 years old, swimming. Maybe not like Eugene Braxton, but Eugene would get a kick out of this. He came up and he couldn't get out of the water because of a friend was like keeping him down, or so he. You don't have to die, in a near-death experience. You could have a traumatic, thing happen, and that's what he did. He had this. He had his life flashed in front of him instantly, and he. I'm trying to how I'm going to relate it to the Superman fighting thing. I lost that thought, but you want to hear a good one along those
I do.
lines, Dave? This is a good one. This convict, he has a lot of time on his hands, right? So he got the books and he learned astral projection. He worked at it. He meditated. You got to meditate a lot. He had lots of time to meditate. He would get out of his body and he would demand. He'd go, just walk out of the prison. So there's a lot of advantages to it. And so he'd walk out, and then he would find a guide, or I would say / a being, and he would go, "Hey, I want to see my mom. I really want to talk to." His mom's deceased. So he's read and heard all these stories about, talking to people that have passed, and they said, "No, you can't." And he would fight with them physically in the astral. I just find that so humorous because SRI, way back when they had remote viewers, they said, "Hey, the heck with this remote viewing thing and drawing pictures on a piece of paper. Let's send somebody there, in the astral." And they have their mind there. They see everything, hear everything, But the astral projectors wouldn't do it. It didn't work for them because the astral is a higher level of thinking. It's a higher consciousness, and just like Dr. Greer says, the aliens are at such a high level of consciousness. They don't care about taking Earth over, and never will. Yeah, sure, maybe they're doing some hybridization or something like that. They scare the bejesus out of some people that they want to contact, like even Vincent Fields that I was telling you about before. But I think enough of that. I hope that's enough. Excuse me.
All right, let's move on to another question here, Dick.
Yeah.
Let's go next to Benno.
Benno.
Why would you come back if you're having such a great time astral traveling?
Oh, really? That's a great question. Okay, the number one thing is problem with astral projection is you can't do it for too long. It's like it's like you winning the lottery if you can, go to the dark side of the moon and around, or of course they have trackers over there and they know when you're showing up. But and when I say they, I don't know who they are. But the hardest thing is staying out longer, not shorter. You're always, there's so many times that you pop back at the wrong time, and you just go, you're almost mad at yourself, but you can't be, because when you're in that state of mind and you come back from one OBE, I usually have 2 or 3. You have to stay completely still when you come back, and you'll just go right back into the vibrations. You'll be able to have 2 or 3, and lucid dreams also. You'll have 2 or 3 of those. If you're having lucid dreams a lot, it's not that hard. Just reading a few books to be able to get out of your body. So I guess it's a personal choice, but it's determined by your level of there's some individuals like Darius Wright and Jürgen Ziever. Jürgen Ziever. They have extended out of the body experiences. Jürgen was, at one point, he said he was meditating like 7-9 hours a day. And
oh wow.
Yeah, and and they have extended times out. But no, you can't stay out. It's impossible. Nobody's going to take your body or anything. There's no danger in it. Nobody can hurt you when you're out there. Nobody can intimidate you when you're out there. But they can mislead you. You could have a better time if you just have a high level of discernment. And there are techniques they called anchoring techniques where you rub your hands together, you rub your face together, rub your hands together while you're out, pick up a stone, look at it, study it. There's techniques to anchor yourself into the astral wherever you are.
All right, let's move on to another one. Let's go next to Andromedan. Dick, do you think in this realm or reality is one of the best, is one of the belief systems realities? Example, the multiverse.
Okay, I'm trying to understand this question.
Do you think this realm or reality is one of the belief system realities? Example, the multiverse.
Well, yeah, we're part of the multiverse. There's no doubt about that. I said from the beginning, you're a multidimensional being. That means that you can exist in a lot of different dimensions and realms, and you can explore them and experience them. The idea of playing around with a multiverse or the belief system thing, he loses me with that question. But if you believe in the multiverse, if you believe, and I will add to that once you get to the multiverse, it will be more real than here. So the reality of it is shocking. You're going to experience something you've never experienced before. So when you do that, your belief system automatically changes. I was discussing that earlier. That's the number one thing that holds you back. Once you come back, your belief system is changed. If you're an atheist, you're not an atheist anymore. Stuff like that. I mean, you're going to be a much more open and thinking type of person. Your belief system, you won't have really a belief system. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Drop all the belief systems and travel and experience. The heck with belief. You don't need belief. You're an infinite, immortal being that can do anything. Essentially, the higher you go in realms, your thoughts can create and manifest. I haven't done that a lot. I'm not into the whole manifestation thing and so much manipulation. I stopped that a long time ago. Okay, I guess next question. Or
Sure, let's go to the next one. We got 5.5 minutes. Let's go to Boondock. Are we tethered as children to keep us from getting too far away from our body?
Well, you can't get too far away. There's no such thing as distance in the fourth, fifth, and upward dimensions. Children are the most untethered of all. They walk around in theta. I mean, the mind is an incredible thing. They're just starting to form their belief systems. They have no belief. So that last question was excellent in that sense. The kids don't have belief systems. They just they have imaginary friends. Well, you got to listen to your kids when they start talking about imaginary friends, because you don't want them to be frightened of them. You should encourage your children all to experience as much as they could possibly can, and talk to them and listen to them about their experiences, because they're having them. I mean, a lot of psychics have a real traumatic time with family life sometimes, because they keep in broad daylight wherever. I haven't had that happen to me. I'm ready for it, but I haven't. Where they have experiences, and they tell their parents, and their parents says, don't tell anybody about that. Don't talk about that. Don't, you know, So that's the worst thing you can do for kids because they're so untethered. They have no belief system. You should let them experience as much as possible, as fast as possible.
All right, let's go to another one. Let's go to Bigfoot and the Bunny Media. What's your thoughts on Hat Man, Men in Black? And that's not Johnny Cash.
That's a good one. Yeah, they're my friends. You know, I've had shadowed guys. I go through the door into the living room, and I'm with my dog who's passed away. He's with me half the time. My German Shepherd Jericho. I had to put him down, but he's with me instantly as soon as I get out of my body half the time. I mean, totally tactile. You know, I'm rubbing him down and scratching him, and he has beautiful fur and all the 10 yards of dog that he is, and he's with me. I go out in the living room, and there's big tall black shadowy thing, and I just go, come on, let's go flying, and I just go right out my front door. I'm 2 stories up, and I just jump right off, and they're with me, and they usually are a being of some sort. I wouldn't say they were a guide or whatever, but and they'll give you some direction. And my pet peeve about that is when these guys follow and come with me, and we're a team. And I mean, I've had leprechaun size beings holding onto my neck as I'm flying. We're buddies, and I'll go so far, and I might make a request, which I don't do anymore. I don't make requests anymore. I follow my higher self. You always have
Let's get
to
in one
trust
more.
your.
We got 2 minutes left. Let's go to
Yeah.
Night Drive.
Okay.
What is the astral projection hag? Have you ever heard of that?
Well, I mean, the old hag is typically from a sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is the easiest way to escape your body. If you have sleep paralysis out there, everybody, it's a gift. It's not a scary thing, but it happens to be. Sleep paralysis magnifies for some reason. Okay, it lets all your wild imagination and fears escape. Now, the old hag is an archetype or a Gregorian. It's a over eons of time, people have had this dream, this frightful dream. You've heard of like psychic vampires, right, Dave? So
Yep.
you can think of it that way. It's built from all this fear from across time, and it's configured an old hag that is like
Right.
sitting on top of your chest, biting your ear. It's
One more question. Well, I want to sneak in one more from Human Carl. Dick, do you have any idea what happens out of body experience wise if one passes over while under general anesthesia?
Passes over. Well, okay.
You got about 30 seconds.
You can people in near-death experiences have the most amazing, it doesn't matter the condition of the body. Nothing, this is all mind. You can be pumped up with all kinds of drugs and heroin or morphine or anesthesia. No difference. When you get out, you're yourself in your best shape you've ever been, in your sharpest, I mean, you're free. All the pain is gone. Yeah. So yeah, astral projection, you can do it in any physical problem that you may have. It might even advance it. I mean,
Dick, thank you so much for coming on Spaced Out Radio tonight. Really appreciate it. Coming up next on the show, we have Swamp Dweller and we have Little Timmy James, the UFO Report.
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio with your host, Dave Scott.
Great job tonight, bud. Appreciate you.
I had fun. You could tell how much fun I'm having.
Good. That's what it's about, my man.
It's all about connecting, and I want to be able to help as many people as I possibly can to, open up to these kind of things and ideas and,
Yeah,
expand your mind. It's all about expanding your mind, like your whole show.
absolutely, my man. Absolutely. I got to run here, but thank you very much, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see you again, I hope.
Yes, you will.
Thank you, Dave.
100%. Take
Thank
care, my
you.
man.
I have other subjects.
All right. Dick Landon, everybody. Great guy. Very nice guy. Thank you, Eugene Braxton, for recommending him. I'll be right back. All right. Let's bring little Timmy James in. What's happening, buddy?
Oh, do you know? Oh, my eyes are burning.
Well, it happens.
It's all good. It's all good. Hey, nice microphone sock.
You like that? I got a purple one too.
Yeah, that's like I looked at it. I was like, bam. Very cool.
You ready for the weekend?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Definitely.
we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun.
You think? Compared to
My
last-
roadcaster came in today.
Oh, nice.
Or yesterday, pardon me.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, compared to last weekend, I hope we have fun.
Thank you to Human Carl, Louis ×2, Kitty Caddywhack, and Mel WD40 for the super chats. Here we go with hour 3. Here comes the third and final hour of Spaced Out Radio tonight. My name is Dave Scott. Appreciate you tuning us on in wherever you are on this beautiful planet we call Earth. Hello to everyone listening in on our terrestrial affiliates around North America, digitally on every major podcast network. Our website, spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read the news wire, check out our swag as well. You can follow us on X at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on Patreon in the Space Travelers Club. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Rejectamenta. Rejectamenta is your password. Use it wisely, Space Travelers, as the Clam sets the password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Let's head to the swamp.
Hello and welcome to Spaced Out Radio's Swamp. I'm Swamp Dweller, and tonight I'm going to take you on a mystic journey of the unknown, sharing tales of monsters, legends, and nightmares. Welcome to the Spaced Out Radio Swamp. So my trucking route is from here in Connecticut down to Kentucky and Tennessee. It's a pretty good run. I get to see all the sights of the East Coast, but one area of the country gets wild. The area around the Appalachian Mountains. You guys probably know that one of the country's poorest areas got screwed over as the coal mining jobs dwindled and the local economy went down the crapper. I feel for those people down there. Seeing how entrenched in poverty some families are is truly heartbreaking. So I was rolling through an area of the state that I hadn't previously been through. Thanks to my usual section of the highway being blocked off by some traffic accident that had unfortunately left a few people dead. I was having some trouble navigating the roads after my phone ran out of battery. And wouldn't you know it, the plug charger decided to give out too. Worst timing ever. But I was an experienced truck driver and wasn't driving an 18-wheeler on that run, so I was free to take some more of the minor roads to find my way around. But even though I considered myself pretty good on the streets, there was a point when I found myself hopelessly lost, and I started to worry that I wouldn't make my shipping delivery deadline. That would mean disciplinary proceedings, and I could not afford those. So anyway, I happened to see this guy wandering down the side of the road. So I slow my truck down, wind down the window, and ask him for directions. The guy seems friendly enough and is willing to take a few minutes to give me all the information I need to make it back onto the main highway that are headed south. But then I started asking him if there was anywhere nearby that I could get some lunch, as it was getting towards about 1 in the afternoon, and I'd only managed to get myself a meager breakfast. The guy seems to think for a minute, scratching his head, taking an unusually long time to think of an answer to this question that usually would only take a few seconds to answer. It's rare to be anywhere in West Virginia where there isn't a Cracker Barrel within a few miles, so why he didn't just point me in the direction of one of those was beyond me. When I pressed him, he told me he knew of an old family-run place that did the best chicken fried steak in the entire county, maybe even the state. Suddenly, all was forgiven. Now, I might be a northerner, but I'll be damned if I turn down a good chicken fried steak. All that was taking so long was for him to try and remember the best way there that wouldn't take me down some run-down old dirt road, one which might get my truck stuck on it, which would have left me screwed. So after a minute, he gave me a detailed direction toward an old strip mall. He told me it was mostly abandoned, but the restaurant was still there, along with a few other smaller businesses, and not to pay any mind that the place seemed quiet during lunch, as it did most of its business in the early morning to late evening. I was happy enough, thanked the guy, then set off following the directions he had given me. So it took me a little while to find the old strip mall the guy was talking about. It was a little frustrating to drive past a couple of chain restaurants and whatnot, given that I was so hungry. But goddamn, if I wasn't craving some of that country style, chicken fried steak, and if it was really a family-run place, then all the better. The chain restaurant stuff doesn't cut it compared to the authentic, home-style cooking. But eventually, I found this rundown old strip mall the guy seemed to be talking about, and it was a wonder that this place was in such a state of disrepair. It was way off any highway. There were absolutely no signs, anywhere. Literally nothing to let you know it was there. But even worse, I saw no indication that any kind of restaurant was open in any of the units. I wasn't about to give up so easily, though, as I saw one place with a big old sign saying something like, Mama J's Country Kitchen, or some weird variation. So my hopes were restored. That's when I see a guy open the door of the place, stepping out into the afternoon heat and staring over at my truck. I gave him away from the driver's side, overjoyed that I was finally about to get some decent food on what had been a lonely drive down from Connecticut. I figured he hadn't seen me do it, that or the sun was obscuring his vision or something, because he just continued to stare back at me. I get out of my truck, lock the doors, and walk to the restaurant. I called out to the guy halfway across the parking lot asking if they were open for business. Again, the guy doesn't react. He keeps staring at me in a distinctly unwelcoming way that I notice. Something in my gut just told me to stop walking. I had this creeping feeling all over my body like something was telling me that something was wrong with this whole setup. And no sooner had I started feeling distinctly vulnerable, the guy reached behind his back, pulling something out of his back pocket, and put it on his head. At first I thought it was a woolly hat, but then he pulled it down, and I realized it was a balaclava. Then I noticed something else in his hand, a small revolver. I turn and start running back to the truck, and as I do, I see a few other guys emerging from the derelict units, each running towards my car and trying to cut me off. Each had a weapon in their hand, be it a knife or an iron bar, and seeing those just made me run even faster. Thank God I had gotten that feeling when I did, otherwise they would have made it to the truck before I did. I threw the door open, jumped inside, and locked the cab behind me, trembling as I was rummaging for my pocket, trying to get my keys. The bandits surrounded the cab of my truck, hitting the chassis with their weapons and demanding I get out. The guy with the gun aimed it right at my face through the windshield, screaming for me to get the hell out of the truck. I had no choice but to do what I did. I gunned the engine and plowed the whole bunch of them, knocking down those who didn't jump out of the way of mine. I leaned down in my seat as I gripped the wheel out of pure instinct, and again, I thank God I did. Because when I did that, and I hit the guy with the gun, he let loose a single shot that shattered the windshield and struck the seat just above my head. I circled the parking lot expecting the following image to come at any moment, but only the bandits that had gotten out of my way of my initial truck charge were chasing me. 2 or 3 were lying on the concrete, rolling around in pain while the others held on to their limbs. I think it's about the only thing that saved me, having the presence of mind to ram them instead of trying to reverse out of there. If that had been my choice, I might not be around to tell you this story. I got out of that parking lot, speeding off blindly in the first direction I could until I found somewhere to park up and call the cops safely. The sheriff's deputy I spoke to told me to swing on by the department when I was able to, so I could give a statement, and I did exactly that. But not until I'd managed to get some lunch, as not even the terror of almost getting hijacked and getting killed would dull my appetite. I guess that makes me sound goddamn fat, but you guys need to appreciate just how hungry I was. Down at the department, however, I learned that I was not the first truck driver to have this issue. I was not the first one at all, actually, to run into these bandits. How I'd been just unlucky enough to ask directions from one of their kinfolk, who had directed me to a rundown strip mall just before calling his buddies to let them know I'd be there. At least, that's the only conclusion we came to once I described the guy I had asked directions from. The deputy seemed to nod knowingly when I related this guy's physical description. I'm warning you guys to be very careful when you're out on the roads. And although it seems like A tired old cautionary tale from your Facebook posting aunt? Be careful when you talk to strangers. There's no way of knowing who they actually are.
Thank you, Swamp Dweller, for another spooky story. If you want more just like that, head on over to our YouTube or his YouTube channel, Swamp Dweller. Hit subscribe, ring that bell, and you got thousands of stories to choose from. Let's bring in Tim.
That is an interplanetary flying space saucer. You have made me very angry. Very angry indeed.
Here we go with little Timmy James, and he is back for the UFO report after seeing a... Dude, I am still trying to put the puzzle pieces together. So, as you all know, we have been investigating the Flight 21 project that we've been doing, and we went out for time number 9 this past weekend. And let me tell you, it started off weird. Driving on the highway to get to the location, we had a bear, massive black bear, run across the highway in front of us, and follow up with a few other pieces of wildlife, which was beautiful always.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Tim, you saw something that just doesn't make sense. Now, for the record, I did not see it. I was driving. I had my eyes on the road.
Mm-hmm. All right. So everybody may or may not remember, Dave had seen something that looked like a cow or a couple of cows. That was, I think, about 3-4 trips ago. In that same sort of area, we were cruising along and we were having a good time. We're kibitzing and chit-chatting, listening to tunes, and we're scoping the forest as we're going in. And I'm obviously in the passenger seat. I'm just kind of hanging and I'm looking out to my right side, and we're cruising. And as we're approaching a line of trees, not a big deal, what the heck is that standing in there? And we're moving along. And so I'm looking, I'm like, what is that? What is that? And then as we get closer, so this thing, whatever it is facing me straight on. So it's at a 45-degree angle, I guess. And as we get closer, we're ripping through, and my brain starts doing the hunting thing, right? Is that a moose? Is that a deer? Is that what is that, right? And I look, and this thing is jet black, like jet black, gloss black. It looks like an emaciated deer, and it's, God, you'd think it was maybe about, I don't know, 7-8 inches across. Like, it just looked like a rail thin deer, but black. And it had its hind end up in the air, and its front legs kind of crouched down, and it looked like it was grazing. Didn't look up at us, didn't look, and this is all happening like as we're traveling down this road at about 50-60 kilometers an hour, so 30 miles an hour. And
About 38 kilometers.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. 38 kilometers. So I look over, I'm watching this thing, and the thing that got me is it's like I say, it's hunched down, and I look, and its ears are about 7, they look like rabbit ears, like they're 7 or 8 inches long, and they're sticking straight up. I kind of go, my brain starts snapping away, and Dave goes, "What'd you see?" I go, "Stop. So he hits the brakes. We back up. I'm hanging out the passenger window looking behind us. He goes, "Tell me when to stop." I said, Go. And then, okay, right there. So I look, nothing, absolutely nothing. So Dave backs up a little further. We're looking in the trees, and we're not talking heavy, dense bush. Like, you can see, half a mile, quarter mile through the trees. I get out of the truck, and I gotta go see what was, if there's anything there. So I get out, and I'm walking around in the spot. Dave's ready to, leave. I've got the door open. Dave's ready to get us the heck out of there. I get out and I start looking, and I can't find anything. And then I kind of look off to my right a little more, and all I can see is it looks like big sort of trampled down grass patches that were, you know, alternating, like I can't even describe it, but just knocked down grass like something had gone through there. But for all night, I couldn't figure out what the heck that was. I still, I can see it in my head, and if I could draw, I would draw, but not scared the crap out of me, but it was like, what was that? I've never seen anything like it before. Never.
Kind of freaked you out.
Just a bit. That whole Saturday was just like, I don't know. I'm still not 100% back straight in line with after Saturday night, man. I'm like,
so we finally make our way to Flight 21 to our base camp. We set up, and there's just this aura about the energy there that is just, it's a little off, and we can't put a finger on it. So prior to that, we talked to Robin Haynes, who says, hey, when you get to the gifting site, look at the tree and look about 30 yards to your right. There should be an area there where they could be. And then 30 yards beyond that. So we get to the gifting site, nothing's moved. We go that 30 yards, and it happens to be
the raven's feather had moved.
Oh, pardon me. The raven's feather had moved.
That's the only thing.
I had put it in the tree the previous week, and it was now lying back in the exact same spot where Lolly had put it. Now, unfortunately, Lolly didn't make it with us this past weekend, but hopefully she will this coming weekend. And we decide to go into that area 30 yards away to go check it on out. We get into the meadow that's there. Happens to be the same meadow where in 2023 we heard voices coming through. There were 7 of us there, including Tim Senor and Merle and Samantha Mowat. And that's in also the area where we saw the glow stick being moved and pulled down the tree. But something weird happened there. I've never been in the middle of the forest when all of a sudden it was like there was no air. And trying to take a breath of air was not working. And as I am going through this, I'm thinking through my head, man, this mossy ground looks so comfortable to just sit on and have a nap. And at the exact same time, Tim, you're having through your brain about the air. You're having troubles breathing.
Big time.
And you're just thinking about grabbing a chair and having a nap right there in the meadow.
It would totally 100%. And this is no embellishment at all. It was, my brain just, I'm looking around, and it almost felt like we'd had a really hard workout, and you're coming down off that workout, and you're kind of like, whew, okay, I just need to sit for a bit. Well, we hadn't walked very far, but it was just like, I could just lay down here right now and just go to sleep. I felt like that's what I wanted to do. Too weird, man.
Right. Yeah, and then we get out of there, and Tim finds something there. You'll see that on the video, which, of course, you can watch all of our videos on our YouTube channel under the section Secrets of the Forest. Shameless plug there. But we go back on a parallel trail to go to the 30 yards beyond that meadow, and the air is great. Yeah. Everything is great. We get to that spot, and all of a sudden, it's like there's no air there again.
Yeah.
2 different spots, 30 yards apart.
Yeah, it was a chilling, I guess. It was just, it was just a weird freaking night. That, like, and we even came back, and Dave and I came back to base camp, and we had to sit down and rest. Like, it was let's just stop for a second. And David said, I'm in total agreement. We sat in our lawn chairs, and it was just like, like it felt like I'd walked up a hill 2 miles like this, and at a good pace. I just needed to, I couldn't get out of that exhaustion funk. Well, it took me about 10 minutes, and I was like, okay, feeling better now.
And then we start hearing things kind of moving around us.
Mm.
I'm just going to say it. We
Mhm.
didn't catch it on tape because Tim was fiddling around. Both of us were tired trying to catch our breath.
Yeah.
And then Tim started fiddling around with trying to get our trail cam going.
Yes. What'd you
God
hear,
is
Dave?
my witness. I don't know what was back there. Swear on my children's lives.
Mhm.
It sounded like an animal or a Sasquatch broke wind. Absolutely ripped about a 10 to 15 second blast, shall we say.
Uh-huh.
And Tim and I are looking at each other, thinking this can't be real.
No.
And Tim's like, was that a growl? I'm like, dude, that wasn't a growl.
Nope.
That wasn't grunting. It wasn't a growl. It was literally something, moose, bear, or Sasquatch
Mhm.
ripping it up. I don't know how much more polite to put that. I
Yeah.
never thought I would have a conversation or be asking people over the last few days,
Right.
hey, have you ever heard a Sasquatch fart? Have you ever heard a bear fart? Have you ever heard a moose fart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently Sasquatches like to fart. That's what we got from a couple of people. I was like, what? I've never heard of that.
Now, this was probably, 40 yards from us?
Yeah. Safely. Yeah.
Safely, 40 to 50 yards.
Yeah.
So I don't know how else to put that. It's just getting stupid there.
Mm.
When all of a sudden you have things like that happening, I really, and look, Tim and I made an executive decision after that happened,
Mm-hmm.
okay, where we're always going to have a camera running now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're always going to have a camera running. There was a point where, it's just two of us, and Tim doesn't trust me with the camera work. Okay. And we had just taken a break. But
Yeah.
it's when we take a break, even with Lolly a couple weeks ago, with the tree knocking, the violent
Mhm.
tree knocking, we had taken a break and we had decided going in we weren't filming. And then that happens. And then almost in the exact same area, now we get Sasquatch picking up his leg and ripping one. And we're sitting there looking at this like we could have caught that on camera.
Yeah.
Rookie mistake. We're learning.
Totally.
We're brand new.
Yeah, we are. And it's so hard. I mean, I shouldn't say it like it's difficult to balance all of this all at one time. Dave's doing one thing, I'm doing another. We're getting the camera set up here. We're trying to get the trail cam set up. It's just like, at times. There's so much stuff going on, and it seems like we don't have enough hands.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. It was just one of the strangest things. And then all of a sudden, as we got to go to break here, it just felt like we needed to go. We needed to get the heck out of there. It didn't feel fearful.
Mm-mm.
It didn't feel like we were in danger.
No.
But both Tim and I were getting blasted with this message that it's time to go.
Yeah.
And it's our shortest trip there.
Mm-hmm.
Only lasted about 2 hours.
Yeah.
But we'll break it all down on film. Coming up next with Tim James, we got the UFO report. Stay tuned, everybody.
This is Spaced Out Radio. Your host, Dave Scott.
All right, we're clear.
Mm-hmm.
That was so weird.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and 100% honest, straight up, I'm still kind of off kilter from Saturday. I don't even know why or what. I'm just like, still kind of
Oh,
feels
it's
a
all
little,
fun.
yeah, just feels a little surreal. But yeah.
You'll feel like I will. You'll feel confidence in numbers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for
when
sure.
we go back.
Yeah.
this weekend.
Yep.
And then the following weekend when we go, we'll be feeling like totally, like almost like naked.
Yeah. 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 We'll put Lee on some missions. Okay, Lee, we need you to go about 90 to 100 yards back into there. Let's see if you can see our freaking laser.
Oh, Lee will definitely be our sacrificial lamb. 100%.
Welcome to Canada, sir.
That's right.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm glad that Lee's coming up, and I'm glad that Merle's going to be there as well. Actually, probably get some good tips from Merle on filming, I'm sure.
Oh, I think Merle will be all over it, dude.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
Right.
Going to be a good time.
Oh.
It's Monday.
What we got here? We got about 3 minutes.
Excellent.
And Mothman, how's the goatee?
You see his Facebook post? He was hanging out back behind Taco Bell, so I left him a little comment, and I said, "True to contrary to popular belief, that is not the SOR studio."
I was in Kamloops yesterday and didn't even go to Taco Bell.
What the heck's wrong with you?
Oh, just
had
some family crap come up.
Saw the picture.
I got the call at 9:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. Dad, I need you to pick me up in Kamloops and drive me to Penticton.
What?
Yeah. No questions asked.
Mm-hmm.
No need to talk about it.
Nope.
Let's go.
All right.
Got home at midnight last night.
Oh, no way.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Long day.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I did manage to get 2 new pairs of dress shoes for work.
Oh.
So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Good.
They are kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I think our forest fires are under control too. Knock on wood.
I don't think that forest fire's in our way.
No. There's 3 of them out there, and they've had aircraft and stuff in there. And I heard on the news when I was coming home, it didn't sound too bad. It sounds like they're kind of containing it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to hurt us.
Oh, I didn't even see the smoke this morning driving to work. I was checking.
Neither did I. I went and looked for it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, that one is kind of more up towards Williams Lake, is it not?
Yeah. They're kind of 1, 2, and then down Enterprise towards Dog Creek. But again, not huge, and it sounds like they got all the crews in there, so cross our fingers.
$47 seconds. Big thank you to Human Carl, Louis ×2, Mel WD40, and Kitty Cattywhack for the great super chats. We greatly appreciate your love and support. Remember, you can join our special YouTube membership. I recommend it. You should come hang out with us. We're going to have some fun again on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And we might do some private member stuff with Lee and Merle and Tim and myself this coming weekend, because that's what we do. And of course, you can shop at our Spaced Out Radio store. Why, Tim?
Because we have no ugly swag, people. No ugly swag.
That's right. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
And we got some new stuff up there as well.
All right.
So check it on out. Here we go. Final half hour is now underway on Spaced Out Radio. My name is Dave Scott. Greatly appreciate you tuning us on in wherever you are on this beautiful planet we call Earth. Hey, we want to remind you that if you missed most of this show or others, our archives are always free on YouTube or any major podcast network. Our website, spacedoutradio.com, we have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read the Newswire, check out our swag as well. You can follow us on X at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on Patreon in the Space Travelers Club. Here's Tim James hanging on out with us for the UFO report. Let's get to some alien stuff here, Tim. What do you got going on in the world?
Well, it seems to be that Ross Coulthart got called out by Moneypenny. I don't know if you've seen that or you have heard about it, but
I did.
Yeah, I know, right? It was like, what? So a former BBC journalist known online as Moneypenny issued a bold ultimatum to investigative reporter Ross Coulthart, demanding he disclose the location of a massive UFO allegedly concealed beneath a high security facility. In a video that swiftly gained traction within the UFO disclosure community, Moneypenny gave Coulthart a 3-hour window to reveal the site or provide a compelling national security reason to withhold it, threatening to unveil her own findings if he remained silent. So when Coulthart didn't respond, Moneypenny followed through, asserting that the 800-foot triangular craft is hidden is hidden at Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska, housed within a specially constructed building within a building. The controversy traces back to Coulthart's earlier claims, first aired over 2 years ago, that on the UFO podcast, where he described a UFO so enormous that authorities built a structure over it to conceal its presence. He stated the craft was located outside of the United States, a detail that conflicts with Moneypenny's Nebraska claim. So Coulthart's cryptic remarks, coupled with his refusal to divulge specifics due to source protection and past unalived threats, have long fueled speculation. Moneypenny, leveraging her 30-year background in financial technology, claimed that to have pieced together evidence using AI tools, despite their alleged resistance. Her findings pointed to Offutt Air Force Base citing a 2015 UFO sighting report, anomalous budget increases for construction, and Google Earth imagery that appeared altered to obscure the large structure. So Moneypenny's revelation stirred intense debate. Critics highlight the contradiction with Coulthart's assertion that the craft lies abroad, while supporters argue her findings suggest multiple such sites may exist globally. The claim has amplified tensions within the UFO community, spotlighting the delicate balance between transparency and the risk of exposing sensitive military secrets. Coulthart had previously emphasized the gravity of his silence, noting that disclosing locations could endanger lives and that Congress has failed to act on detailed information provided years ago. So Moneypenny's move has thrust the issue into the public eye, compelling the UFO disclosure movement to confront the ethics and consequences of revealing classified information. Whether her allegations hold true or merely fan the flames of speculation remains unresolved, but the confirmation has undeniably galvanized the ongoing quest for answers. Now, very quickly, Coulthart responded with the good old FU when she gave the ultimatum. So Ross didn't give out anything, and yeah, she went ahead with her 3-hour deadline and figures it's in Nebraska somewhere.
Here's my opinion of this.
Mm-hmm.
you know, everybody likes a little piece of drama.
Absolutely.
And I was like, oh man, we got some juice happening here.
Right?
And I'm thirsty for some juice. And the more I thought about it, the question is, how did she find out about this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number one. But number two, she put Ross in the only way he could save face. And that's why Ross's F-bomb towards this happened. Because as a journalist, you're not going to be pressured by anybody in the public, even if they get it right, on releasing where that is. His sources told him in confidence. Now, if Ross made a mistake on that, I would have said the mistake was mentioning it at all.
Right.
Because he put the pressure on himself.
True.
And so with this UFO community being, so hungry for morsels of information, the fact that Ross knew about this and would never give it up, I can understand their frustration.
Sure.
I can understand why they called him out on it. Ross should have never, ever, Ross Coulthart, that is, should have never, ever let it go.
No. Agreed.
Okay. But he decided to. No understanding. Maybe it slipped out. Maybe it was a Freudian slip.
Sure.
Don't know. But he can't come out and say, oh, by the way, this is at Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska.
No.
My sources have told me this, because he may accidentally out his sources.
True.
And in the end, whether you like Ross or not, the rule of thumb when it comes to journalists is you don't burn your sources. You never do.
Yeah.
So I liked Ross's response.
I know, right?
Okay. But he brought it on himself, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I would think even he would admit that.
Sure. And she just seems to, I mean, I saw the video and I don't know. It was like, wow, nice attitude. I don't know. She seemed rather arrogant about the whole thing. And it was like, really? Why not just bring it out? If you're going to say it. I get it. I'm not telling you not to do it. But the way that you brought it out, it was like watching the video. It was like, wow, you really think you're something else. But that was my opinion of it anyway.
I like the way she brought it out, though. I do.
She kind of leaning back.
It was a real queen bee move, and all the power to her for it.
Yeah,
I liked it. I really did like it. Maybe I shouldn't, but the sadistic side of me was like, okay, I like this. And good for you.
And it was a big glass.
I don't think there's any losers in this.
No.
But we got two winners out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we'll see what develops out of that, because I'm sure that's not just going to fall off the cliff and die. So I got a funny feeling there'll be more talk about it coming up.
No kidding. What else you got for us, my friend?
Well, I guess 5 months ago, after its March 2025 debut at, South by Southwest, The Age of Disclosure, a documentary claiming an 80-year government cover-up of extraterrestrial intelligence, remains unreleased on major streaming platforms like Netflix and Amazon. So directed by Dan Farah, the film featured interviews with 34 U.S. government military and intelligence officials, and earned a B+ from critics for its compelling case. Yet no official release date has surfaced, fueling speculation about distribution delays or possible suppression. Dun, dun, dun. So the film's South by Southwest screening on the 9th between the 9th and the 11th of March drew strong audience reactions, with its team hinting at ties to government's efforts to declassify UFO files. A false February 2025 release listing on Plex was debunked, and the silence since has frustrated fans. Industry experts say securing distribution for the films can take 6 months or more due to complex negotiations. Blah, blah, blah. And the filmmakers may be holding out for a lucrative deal to recoup high production costs, possibly favoring the theatrical release. Amazon is reportedly in talks, but nothing is confirmed. So online forums buzz with theories of government interference with this, citing the film's claims of reverse engineered alien technology as a reason for the delays. Others suggest legal disputes, possibly involving former intelligence official Lou Elizondo, though no evidence supports this. Viewer skepticism is growing, with some dismissing the film as overhyped hearsay lacking hard proof, potentially complicating distribution deals. Public interest in the UFOs competes with everyday concerns like rising living costs, which may dampen demand. The film's 4-hour director's cut was trimmed to an hour and 49 minutes, cutting content like former CIA agent John Ramirez's interview on foreign UAP encounters and nuclear baiting techniques. Fair has suggested deleted scenes may appear as special features, indicating a strategic approach. And financially, the high budget project requires a strong marketing push. With upcoming congressional UAP hearings, the film's relevance could peak if released soon enough. Historical cases like Prince's delayed album in the 1980s due to label disputes suggest fan pressure could push the progress, but without updates, the film risks fading. Experts estimate that 60 to 80% chance of a late 2025 release if hurdles are cleared, and possibly amplified by alternative platforms. For now, the age of disclosure remains in limbo, leaving audiences to wonder if its absence is due to industry logistics or something more. So I dug a little bit deeper, again, these aren't facts, but the scuttlebutt is the government does not want it released quite yet. There are some negotiations that are going on. That was admitted that they're looking for, whatever sponsors, whatever they do, they're looking to get the deal done. But a lot of people are saying that the government is going, I don't know yet. I think that they've kind of about faced on it a bit. And I don't think that they like everything that's contained in the movie. So, and apparently it was cleared before it was released at South by Southwest. So I'm not sure what's going on there.
Well, you know what? That's the movie that may never end, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because it never got started.
That's right.
Well, I mean, are they trying to make a movie or are they trying to make a documentary?
That's my thing too, because I class them myself. I class that stuff differently. If I'm watching, even if it's on a movie channel, if it's a documentary, it's not a movie, it's a documentary to me. So I'm not sure if they're trying to make it an entertaining thing. I think it'd be more of a documentary realm, in that realm anyway. I don't know. I'm not a movie guy.
No, I'm not a movie guy either.
Mm-mm.
Not a movie guy. By the way, did you hear Lou Elizondo set up a new bar for himself?
Bombshell.
Tell us about it.
Oh my goodness. I just saw the photo, and I can't remember who the mayor of the town or something was cutting the ribbon in front of it. And Lou looks like he's lost about 400 pounds. I didn't get really deep into it. I just was like, really? Okay. Next page.
Courtesy of Nicole Sackich, who messaged me with this.
She didn't message me.
Oh, she likes me better.
I know.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. She did send me a picture of the menu here.
Oh, no way.
So it's all pretty much military food and drinks and everything, like the Bombshell Crush, Kamikaze Lemonade, Manhattan Project, Atomic Painkiller, Humphrey Bogart's Beginning of a Beautiful Friendship. Oh, yes.
Huh.
Yeah. Some of the signage is kind of weird.
Right.
But they got the Roswell 1947 drink.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, he's having fun with it.
Sure.
But,
I think the sign out front sucks. I don't like it. Every letter is red. It goes red, white, blue, red, white, blue. It's like a Christmas light string, and it's hard to
Well-
read for me.
Well, I mean, you have to remember.
Mhm.
You have to remember our good American friends down there. They like their red, white, and blue.
Not denying that at all. It's just hard for me to read. It looks stupid the way he's done it.
Mhm.
My opinion.
It is kind of interesting. What else you got for us? We got 6 minutes.
All right. So actually, on this date in 1967, in the quiet farming village of Cusack or Cusack in central France, two siblings, Francois, 13, and his 9-year-old sister, Anne Marie, were tending to their family's cows on a sunlit plateau. The children noticed what they first assumed were 4 other children playing behind a nearby hedge, but something about them was wrong. The figures stood just over a meter tall, their bodies entirely clad in glossy black silk-like material that reflected the sunlight. Their heads appeared oddly proportioned, and their faces were indistinct. The scene grew stranger still when the children noticed, hovering a short distance away, a perfect silver sphere, roughly 2 meters in diameter. It was so bright that its surface details were hard to make out, as if it were reflecting more light than it should. Before the siblings could process what they had seen, one of the black-clad figures seemed to lift off the ground and enter the sphere, gliding into it head first. The others followed in quick succession, except for one, who briefly distended again to pick up a reflective mirror-like object from the grass before returning to the craft. The sphere began to rotate in a spiral motion, producing a soft whistling noise as it ascended rapidly into the sky. In seconds, it had disappeared towards the northwest. The children noticed a strange odor in the air, sharp and sulfurous. And when they returned with their father, who happened to be the village mayor, the smell was still there. The grass in the area where the sphere had hovered appeared scorched and dry, as though burned without flame. The father contacted local gendarmerie immediately, basically police department. So the officers arrived to investigate, recording the children's statements in details and confirming both the smell and the unusual condition of the grass. Their findings were forwarded to the French government's official UFO research program, GEPAN, which kept the case in its files for decades before releasing it to the public in 2007. Independent UFO researchers, including Joël Mesnard, Claude Pavy, and Fernand Lagarde, also studied the case extensively, publishing articles that highlighted the children's consistency over time and the physical traces left behind. Skeptics later floated the possibility that the witnesses had seen a helicopter and its crew, perhaps during a military exercise, but this explanation was dismissed by GEPAN as incompatible with the report and the humanoid figures, the odor of sulfur, and the craft's rapid spiral ascent. To this day, the Cusack incident remains officially unexplained, and the 2 young witnesses never sought publicity or profit, and their testimony, along with corroborating physical evidence, has kept the case alive in UFO research circles as one of France's most enigmatic close encounters. Both children, now adults, have been asked for interviews and asked to expand more on it, and they do not want to talk about it. And so they're only witnesses to it, don't want to say nothing more.
Wow. How do you feel if that happened to you?
How would I feel?
Yeah.
At that age, well, at any age, but I think as a 13-year-old, I would probably, I don't know, be scared to death and mess my pants. I think, especially, and I think I'd be worried about my little sister too. But yeah, being a young kid like that and seeing that running around on the field, yeah, I don't think I'd be too cool with it. You?
Oh, I'm sure there would be a couple of pairs of shorts soiled, but that's just the way it happens. Sometimes you don't have a choice. Sometimes you don't have the ability to control oneself.
Mm-hmm. For sure. No, I don't know. And those ones are the ones that kind of get me. And it's cool because I like France. I even got to go look it up on their website. If you go to their France's UFO website, you can actually look it up. They'll tell you how they researched it, any pictures, the location, the trees that the aliens were playing around, the hedges they were hiding behind. It's all there for anybody to go look it up. They're fantastic at cataloging this stuff.
Well, my friend, we got about a minute and a half to go here before we have to say goodnight. All I got to say is this. When you have a close encounter experience with an emaciated deer with rabbit ears on it, you know that's just not something that's conducive to our forest dwellers.
No. And too freaky. Like I said, I wish I could draw it because, yeah, just wow. Totally different. I've never seen anything like it. Nothing.
I wonder if it was related to those weird cows that I saw.
Well, it was right in that area too. So I'm wondering the same thing. If it's like some sort of, logging road crossing for cryptids, or I don't know. It could be. But all I know is I hope not to see that. Well, I shouldn't say that. I just hope I don't have a close encounter with something like that.
Well, once again, next time we hear Bigfoot bum burp in the forest, we'll make sure we're rolling for you. That's for sure.
Yes, for sure. Oh my gosh.
I don't even know how else to put that, man. I really don't.
Nope.
Oh my goodness. Tim, thank you for coming on the UFO Report. Another great report by you. We'll talk to Tim in a couple of nights' time as we say good night to the 150-year-old reporter of SOR. And hello to Mr. Ron Bumblefoot Thal, rocking in the background with Little Brother is watching. Bumblefoot is the official music of Spaced Out Radio, rocking us in and out of every single show. Get your horns up for the guitar god himself. Special thanks to everybody listening in at work, at home, in your cars, wherever you may be. Thank you to everyone in our chat rooms tonight. YouTube, Twitch, LGAB, Facebook, Spreaker, LinkedIn, the Space Travelers Club, and on X, hashtag Spaced Out Radio. Remember, this show is copyright by Spaced Out Radio and Bigfoot Broadcasting Limited. Thank you so much for choosing to share your evening with us, because together, my friends, we're watching. We own the night. Mr. Bumblefoot, we need a favor. We need you to take us home. Yes, the Woo train has docked for the night, but soon, my friends, we shall ride again. Your seats are always available. Your tickets never expire. And if you want to bring a friend, we've got room for them too. Good night, everybody. Good job, little Timmy James.
Why, thank you, little Davy Scott.
Give me 1 second. I want to show you something.
Okay.
Hold on here.
Hello,
Date today, 11.
Sackage. How are you? What's to own the dawn and morning? Thank you, Mothman. Appreciate it. It's breakfast time. See, Nicole's got it. Time is at midnight here. I can do pancakes. Yeah. Bacon and syrup. Ooh. Better get Dave some eggs and bacon. Well, it's actually morning now. So yeah, David eat it.
Almost done.
Oh, Rob. Oh, waffles too. Jeez. Waffles.
No, fuck, I don't care.
What? Bacon with Canadian maple syrup? Oh, hell yeah, Bothman. Oh, man.
All right, Timmy.
What you got, Davey?
The unveiling. See what this bad boy looks like.
Oh, the road. Nice.
Which way does it open? Oh, I don't want to tear the box.
No.
What, is it sealed somewhere? Well, it's sealed right there.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen is you're going to open it up and then it's going to be full of styrofoam and
No, God, I hope not.
Right?
I hate styrofoam.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it just grosses me out.
Oh, you're one of the... Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I used to work with a lady that was styrofoam. If she touched it or anything, she'd be like, oh. And then the other one was, it was duct tape, peeling duct tape or packing tape off of a roll. Yeah, used to make her absolutely insane.
That one doesn't bug me.
No.
Oh, this is a big box.
It's a big one. Dun 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 dun.
What's in there? Oh,
Don't wreck it. It's a very big record or something.
Oh, this is bigger than what I thought.
Gonna need a bigger boat.
Gonna need a bigger boat. Much bigger than what I thought.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's gonna make us sound good.
It's gonna make us sound awesome.
Gonna make us sound really good.
Oh boy, we're gonna have fun that week, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna come.
That's what we are setting up, people. That's why we're taking the week off.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're gonna set this up, and we're gonna make the studio sound badassery again.
Yeah.
So hopefully we do not get any of those, little issues that we had with audio previously that kind of screwed us up, and all of a sudden all I'm hearing is, how come this person is louder than this person? And Dave, you suck. All this kind of stuff, right? So there it is, Timmy.
That's brilliant.
It's alive.
Oh, that's going to be good.
It's alive.
Well, we're going to pull everything apart, clean everything, put stuff in. Yeah, it's going to be shiny and new. That's cool, man.
Yeah, man.
That's a good deal too.
It's alive.
It is alive.
Yep. All right, everybody. Tomorrow night on the show, who do we got?
The twins or something, wasn't it?
Ursula Wolski will be here.
Oh.
We're going to be researching paranormal. Well, pardon me. Researching researchers of the paranormal.
Huh.
Yeah, why do people do it? We're going to have some fun with this tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will. I promise you.
That's a twist. That's cool.
A reminder that Sweet Robbie G will be hosting for me on Friday. And so you'll have some fun with him. Promise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it'll be live. So, big thank you tonight to Kitty Caddywhack, Mel WD40, Human Carl, and Louie ×2 for the great super chats. Thank you to all of our members. We'll do another live together on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try and figure something out. Now, just give me a break because I'm still new at it. Still trying to figure out this whole thing. And we are taking a week off at the last week of August. Last week of August, because Tim and I are going to be redoing the studio here. And hopefully we can get it done.
We will.
We will. We will. All right. So we will see you all tomorrow night. Thank you to our super chatters once again. Thank you to everybody who's hit subscribe and rang that bell. Little Timmy James.
Little David Scott.
We'll see you soon, buddy. And see you, audience, tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Ooh.
Good night.
Night.
Stay healthy, my friend.
You too.
If you need bail money, give me a call.
Always, Dad. Take care.
You too.